I'm Janette Rallison. I live in Arizona. I have 5 kids. I write young adult fiction for the national market. I've published 13 books altogether, and I have 2 coming out next year. Well, in the past I've written all romantic comedies. They're light, fun books. And my editor called me as I was starting this one, and he wanted there to be more depth to this book. And so he specifically asked me to sort of think about putting a painful situation in. I thought my audience is used to romantic comedies, and what would they think if I suddenly had a sad book out? But I think we kind of came on a good compromise, because it still is, funny and romantic. But the main character, her little brother, has a brain tumor, and she knows that he idolizes this actor who plays Teen Robin Hood, and so she's going to California to try and find him and bring him back to see her little brother before he goes into surgery. So she challenges him to an archery contest, and if he loses, he has to come to Nevada and visit her brother. I had a couple of friends who had children who died of cancer. One of them was my son's really good friend when they were little, and he died when they were in about kindergarten. And so I knew, going into this, that it was a painful subject, but at the same time, talking to my friends, there are things that you really can learn from children in this situation, that their children really taught them a lot about life and the purpose of life. I tell people, if you're going to write young adult fiction, you really need to get a teenager, because it's like living with a golden goose, just one plot idea after another. But I think part of it was that as a young adult myself, you always look for yourself in books. You always look for that heroine that is you, and I never really found that person that was me. And so I had to go and write a bunch of books where the heroine is me. I've had a lot of kids write to me, also teachers and librarians, kids that hate reading like my books. And at first I wasn't sure whether that was actually a compliment or not. I thought, I'm sort of like the Captain Underpants for teenage girls. Not sure that's a good thing. But now I really do think that that's a good thing. I consider that sort of a badge of honor, that kids who don't like reading will read my books and enjoy them and want to read more of them. I'm working on a book. It's my first fantasy. It's going to be a really fun book. It's about a girl who her boyfriend dumps her for her older sister. And she's devastated, but she has a fairy godmother. Well, actually, it's a fair godmother, because in godmother school, her grades weren't good or great, they were just fair. So she's actually not a very good fairy godmother, but she has a fairy godmother, and she asks for some princely guy to take her to prom. And so her fairy godmother sends her back to the Middle Ages to be Cinderella, which was not what she had in mind when she made this wish. It was a lot of fun writing it, and I think fans are really going to love it.